What is up, everybody? Welcome to chapter 4 of your user's manual. Let me take a quick sip of tea here. Give you that ASMR thing. Whatever. All right. Today we're talking about view the world as it is, not the way you see it. Last episode, we were talking about how we're not special in the grand scheme of things, whether we're looking at the cosmic scale or our species or the planet today. We are not special. We need to just take a deep breath and recognize where we fit so we fit better with others. Today, chapter 4. View the world as it is, not the way you see it. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, was also an emperor of Rome from 161 AD until his death in 180 AD. During this time, although the empire prospered and Marcus Aurelius was victorious on the battlefields, his reign was anything but a walk in the park. The empire was ravaged by floods, multiple devastating earthquakes, and a deadly plague that caused a catastrophic damage to the population. During his reign, Marcus Aurelius had to manage the flooding of the Tiber in 161, earthquakes at Cyzicus 161, and at Smyrna 178. And the terrible plague epidemic brought back by Roman troops returning from the Parthian War in Asia in 166. Crazy tough times. On top of the incessant natural disasters, the enemy was fought on all fronts, and so the Emperor King spent much of his time running his war machine from one side of the empire to the other. What a tumultuous and tormented reign it must have been. Yet Marcus Aurelius always seemed calm under pressure and able to make the fairest and most rational decisions, no matter the circumstances. This earned him the moniker of the last good emperor of Rome. He made it look easy, by all accounts, given the plethora of challenges he and his empire faced. His judgment and decision-making was always subject to his 3 golden rules of thought, so he could think clearly. His most famous gift to posterity, Meditations, is in fact his own checklist to repeat and follow in order to ensure he remained ultimately objective, good, virtuous, fair, and overall a good Stoic. With these checklists, he included his 3 golden rules. He would then meditate on these, as in reading and rereading them, which explains how Marcus Aurelius was able to remain the same even-keeled, fair, wise, and capable ruler he was regardless of the circumstances he was facing. Condensed and written in plain language, his 3 golden rules are: 1. Train yourself to fight the autonomous loop so as to see the world as it is, not the way you see it. 2. View things in an objective manner by looking at them through other people's eyes or other pairs of eyes. 3. Routinely declutter the mind. The autonomous loop is a phenomenon. Phenomenon. Gotta have fun, y'all. Gotta have fun. Look at a sip of tea. Good morning, handsome. Here we go. The autonomous loop is a phenomenon of our efficient brain. The brain is able to quickly identify what information is relevant and what is not, or so it believes, and therefore is able to focus on the task at hand despite sensory overload. For example, the autonomous loop is how you can focus on the voice of the person you are conversing with and ignore all other noises in the background, even in a noisy environment. You know, we've all been there. We've all been at a party or a dinner or whatever. You're having a conversation with someone, and even though it's loud, you can focus on that conversation. That's your autonomous loop, right? It's a good mechanism your brain has built over the years. It just gets in the way now, but let me get back to the book here. It says it a lot better than I do. Right. This is efficient. However, efficiency comes with a compromise in quality. If the brain is only registering what it thinks is important, it means you are missing out on a world of information that is right in front of your eyes. Literally. At this moment, you are focusing on this sentence and this sentence alone, or rather my voice in this video, blah, blah, blah. And therefore, you are unaware of a whole world around you. Yes, you are. Take a moment to look up and view, listen, and absorb. The sheer volume of information that is available to you at this moment is immense. Yet, for a moment there, your brain was solely focused on my voice. Quote, "Nothing has such power to broaden the mind as the ability to investigate systematically and truly all that comes under thy observation in life." End quote. Marcus Aurelius. To make good, rational decisions, take a step back and make sure you have all the information, not just the information you see. Fight the autonomous loop whenever you can, and train your mind to view the world the way it is, and not the way your brain's autonomous loop thinks it is. The brain is selfish and riddled with bad coding like this. There's more on this on a later chapter. It's called bad coding. The second rule is to see things through many pairs of eyes. Your mind is subjective to your reality, and so every other person who has their own reality will see things from a whole other subjective perspective. This is simple, right? Yet, it's a significant point that we ignore. Penny, come. Penny, come. Penny, come. Penny, come. Up, over here. Come on. Up. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Sit. There you go. Okay, don't move. Consider this mental exercise. Our subject is an old dog that shows it has had a long and fulfilling life, and that it is on the last leg of its life, standing there with his owner. A dog lover might walk by and, upon seeing the dog, pet it and think, "What a cute dog." Another individual who dislikes dogs might walk by, avoid looking at it altogether, and think, "What a vile creature. Drooling, shedding, smelling, yuck." A third individual might walk by and, upon seeing the dog, think, "How sad. The poor dog looks like it will die soon." Yet another person might walk by and, upon seeing the same dog, think, "What a lucky dog, as it looks like it has lived a long and fulfilling life, and it will live out the rest of its days with its owner in a loving home." Its owner might be looking at the dog thinking, "I wonder if the dog is in the mood to go to the park and play fetch." And finally, this whole time, the dog may be thinking, "Hey, maybe that human has a treat for me. Or maybe that one. Or maybe that one has a treat." Here are 6 different realities and narratives about the exact same subject. Yet they are all very different from one another, and each of their perspectives are dependent on and shaped by their senses, mental models, past experiences, fears, wishes, and wants. The lesson here is that by viewing the problem, issue, or event through other pairs of eyes, you can harness an objective view, or at least get closer to an objective view than merely looking at it from your own singular, narrow-minded perspective, which is biased. Finally, Marcus Aurelius emphasizes decluttering the mind often and on a regular basis. The brain is a noisy place. In your brain, at any given moment, you're not only thinking about the task at hand, right? However, floating around in there, you also have feelings, thoughts, questions, memories, to-do lists, grocery lists, worries, etc. There is so much happening in there that often you do not recognize all that goes through your mind as they get lost in the hustle and bustle of your churning brain. A thought or an idea you had might later be forgotten. A negative thought, event, or issue to be dealt with might never be addressed and float around in your mind in the background, becoming a proverbial thorn in your side without being rationalized and fester up, and it'll cause angst. And so, to avoid such situations, we must declutter the mind. Grab a pen and some paper and put your thoughts on paper. That's all it is. Keep a journal. When your ideas are on paper, they not only present themselves in a different light, but they also come out to the forefront to be rationally dealt with. When a thought, idea, or decision is rationally broken down and examined on paper, you essentially have a rational conversation with yourself and approach the problem with your rational, ordinary mind. Ordinary mind, of course, meaning a mind devoid of emotions. Declutter your mind by writing once or several times a day. Quote, "Nobody can give you wiser advice than yourself." End quote. Marcus Tullius Cicero. And with that, my friends, I leave you for another episode. I hope little Penny wasn't too disruptive there. I thought it would have been a nice little prop to come in at an opportune time. I will speak to you next time for what are we reading next time? Chapter 5, Life is a Short-Term Phenomenon. But don't forget to answer the questions at the end of episodes. I'm going to have polls on Instagram, Spotify, and Anchor, I guess. I'll send it on in the Patreon crowd. Every fourth episode is responding to questions on the book or the chapter or anything, really. So feed me your questions. I'd be happy to answer them. And I will talk to you guys next time. You guys stay chill. Keep being good people. You're awesome. Ciao, guys.